going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to yet another episode of The Drop. And today we have a pretty awesome fighting franchise making its return with Injustice 2. Not Gods Among Us this time, just Injustice 2. And then on top of that, we have some other pretty awesome games that are coming on top of a couple of things that are going from PC to PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. A lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, we have our headliner Injustice 2 coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Power up and build the ultimate version of your favorite DC legends in Injustice 2. With a massive selection of DC superheroes and supervillains, Injustice 2 allows you to equip every iconic character with unique and powerful gear earned throughout the game. Experience an unprecedented level of control over how your favorite characters look, how they fight, and how they develop across a huge variety of game modes. This is your superhero, your journey, your Injustice. Now, the most important thing here is the addition of gear, which not only changes the way your character looks, but can also change the way that certain statistics about your character actually impact the gameplay. For instance, you could add some damage points if you have a certain pair of gloves on, or you can add some speed, some dodge, some counterattack points, whatever the statistic may be. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of a fighting game. Don't sue me over that, but you get what I'm saying. The gear can actually impact the gameplay, which is something that you don't really see very often, and we did not see in the original Injustice, and it's pretty cool to see that it's being added to the sequel. In addition to that, there's this new thing called the multiverse, which I think is pretty interesting. So pretty much the way that it works is that you have your standard kind of gameplay, but within the multiverse, there are new rules that are added that kind of force the player to change up the way that they normally play. If they have this big string of combos that they have memorized that tends to work pretty well, they might not necessarily work within the multiverse. Just depends on what kind of game mode you want to play. So overall, forcing players out of their comfort zone and forcing them to try new kinds of combinations and new kinds of abilities and things like that, combined with that new gear addition to the game that really can change up the way the game is played, makes Injustice 2 a much more in-depth game than the original Injustice Gods Among Us, and it's certainly one that I'm glad to see coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Next up, The Surge is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. This is a long one. Go ahead, sit down, grab a drink. We are diving into it. The Surge is an action RPG set in a world ravaged by war and global warming. The game offers a hardcore experience with a focus on challenging, visceral melee combat. It features fresh fighting, looting, and crafting mechanics alongside a unique character progression system. Fitted with your exosuit and cybernetic implants, harness superhuman strength to survive the Cryo Complex, a megacorporation that set out to save the world. Enhance your exosuit with near endless combinations of armor and weapons, each with their own move sets that allows you to slice your way through steel and flesh to loot, craft, and improve your rig. Salvage weapons and modular armor by using the dynamic targeting system to attack and dismember limbs individually. From lighting rigs to heavy lifters, security armor to advanced secretive technology, mix and match equipment to suit your playstyle and overcome the adversarial and environmental challenges that plague the malfunctioning complex. Take on huge industrial bosses and complex gone mad, yeah, and discover the truth about Cryo. The Surge is coming to us from the developers of Lords of the Fallen, which was pretty much that thing that copied Dark Souls 2 Scholars of the First Sin a couple of years back, and it was pretty well received. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, it was just kind of smack dab right there in the middle, and it was free on Xbox Live Gold a couple of months, and I think it was free on PlayStation Plus as well. I might be wrong about that. Regardless of that, you can probably find it for about $3 right now, and it's worth giving a look, but that's beside the point. It generated enough funding apparently to make The Surge. Now, one interesting aspect of this new game is that instead of having light and heavy attacks like you would normally find in a Dark Souls game or a Lords of the Fallen style game, you actually have vertical and horizontal attacks that allow you to kind of better target certain areas of your enemy. For instance, if there is a helmet that you want a horizontal attack will have more likelihood of slicing off their head or triggering some kind of quick time event that will allow you to completely dismember their head from the neck up and then collect that helmet. It's a new kind of gameplay mechanic that I am really digging watching some gameplay of. Just going off of what we know right now, I'm incredibly excited to see how The Surge actually turns out. I think it has a great setting, I think it has a great potential for an interesting story, and on top of that, I'm liking that they're switching up the standard kind of Dark Souls / Lords of the Fallen / Souls-like control scheme that we've all kind of gotten used to. It's just nice to have something fresh coming out of this side of the industry, so if that sounds like something you you might be interested in. There are going to be a ton of streams on Twitch of this, I guarantee it, and it's also coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC if you wanted to check it out for yourself. Moving right along to Tango Fiesta, coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Tango Fiesta is a top-down cooperative shooter for 1 to 4 players. Imagine the events from every single 80s action film ever made actually happened to one guy. Well, you and up to 3 friends get to blast, shoot, and knife your way through procedurally generated levels as the ultimate 1 or 2, 3, or 4-man army. I really don't have much to say about this one. You can look at the gameplay right here and make your own kind of conclusion about this, but from what I can see, it's pretty much your standard kind of top-down dual thumbstick shooter for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. That being said, it has its nice little own appeal, it's unique, and I'm sure that it has something that really does set it aside from all the other kind of games just like this that we've been seeing more and more of over the course of the past couple of years. But from my perspective, can't really see anything that really makes this one stand out, and of course the reviews on Steam are pretty much reflecting that same thing. I think it's sitting right around a 3 out of 5. Not great, not bad, it just kind of exists. So if it sounds like something you might be interested in, or you're really loving this gameplay, you can check it out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One this week, or you can pick it up on Steam if you're a PC guy like myself. Next up, Portal Knights is coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, also available on PC if I remember correctly. Leave the familiar world behind and step into the fantastic unknown with Portal Knights, a cooperative 3D sandbox action RPG. Level up your character and craft powerful gear to defeat your enemies in real-time tactical combat, explore dozens of randomly generated islands, and restore peace to a world torn apart by The Fracture. That was a game that came out on the PlayStation 3 right when it launched, Fracture. Never play it, it was really bad. Aside from that, craft your adventure, level up your hero, defeat the Portal Guardians, become the ultimate Portal Knight. On the surface, whenever you're looking at the gameplay of this, it totally looks like a Mega Bloks version of Minecraft, where you can tell what they're going for. You can see Minecraft in this little design, but something's just a little bit off. However, below that initial surface impression, there is a lot more depth than your standard kind of Minecraft experience. Characters actually have quests within the game that you can choose to go on. There are also environmental changes that happen every time you play and throughout your gameplay experience, and then on top of that, there are actually different kinds of classes for your character that change up the gameplay overall, so it's not going to be your standard kind of Minecraft experience. There's definitely, like I said, a lot more depth here. Overall, it's definitely an interesting Minecraft-like roguelite RPG style game. It's very hard to describe. It's really actually pretty weird, but it's coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One if you are interested, and I believe it was already available on the PC as of right now, but it is coming to consoles this week. Lastly, a couple of honorable mentions. Cookin' Mama Sweet Shop is coming to the 3DS. Thumper is coming to the Nintendo Switch in full 60 frames per second in handheld mode, which is a big one for this game. It has to be in 60 frames per second, at least, if you've ever watched any Thumper gameplay. Farpoint is coming to the PlayStation 4, not Firepoint. Thought it was Firepoint and I was just saying it like a southern guy. No, it's Farpoint, coming to the PlayStation 4 via PlayStation VR, and I've heard some great things about this game. Still on the fence about it, mainly because I don't have a PlayStation VR and VR doesn't really appeal to me. Beside the point, it's coming to the PS4 this week. And finally, Reservoir Dogs Bloody Days is coming to the PC. This game is a complete and total disgrace to the name Reservoir Dogs. I would not buy it. It looks terrible. Oh God, I got mad whenever this thing got announced. But hey, it's coming to the PC this week. So there you guys have it. I hope you have enjoyed this edition of The Drop. If you did, drop me a like down below and let me know what new games that are coming out this week that you are looking forward to. Have you really been hyped up about Reservoir Dogs? I know I haven't. But on top of that, have you been looking forward to Injustice 2 or whatever other game you're hyped up about, even if it's not coming out this week? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you happen to be new here, I do upload new stuff throughout the week, so there's always going to be something new right here on the channel when you do drop by to watch some videos. But as for right now, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I will talk to you soon. Peace.